Dr. Movie Guy. I'm late for the Incredible 2 review to the Incredi Studio. Hi everyone, and welcome to the live review of Incredibles 2. First of all, if you're watching this, please take a moment and subscribe to right below us. It's very, very important that we get those subscriptions because so many great things are going to be happening. Going to start the show off with our sweet tweet of the week from our own Jeffrey K. Howard, who couldn't join us last week, but he was nice enough to send out that tweet. So thanks, Jeff. We really appreciate that. And you can, of course, tweet us starting next week, and I'm going to be giving you that information here shortly. But I do want to, not all the tweets are good, so I want to show you this tweet. It's our tweet of the day. It's from Greg Seeke, and he's like, "Nice to see you back, Chuck the Movie Guy. You're showing your age. You used to be more animated. You still suck, by the way. You know, yes, it's true. I am showing my age. And, well, this is an animated movie review. So if you want me to be more animated, how's this? All right. Now, we can start the actual review. Joining us from Toronto, Canada, as always, Bonnie Laufer Krebs. Good morning, Bonnie.
Animated Chuck. He looks pretty good.
Thanks, Bonnie. I thought you would like that.
I really like it. I would like animated Bonnie next week, please.
Okay, I'm working on that. Also,
Okay.
from Las Vegas, Nevada, it's Jeff Howard. Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning. Coming to you from my bedroom because, you know, I had technical difficulties from my last set. So it looks pretty sparse, but you know what? We'll still have a good show ahead of time here.
Now, we couldn't do a show without everybody's favorite, Greg Russell, Detroit. Hey, Greg, what's happening?
Doing great. Good to be here as always with you guys.
Well, Greg, I want to thank you for joining us. And I got to tell you, it has been, what, 14 years since we had the first Incredible movie. Now, I interviewed, I don't know if you guys did, but I don't know if you remember this, but Disney brought all the press in, and we actually did the interviews with the animated characters. They actually animated them in, and then gave us the tapes much later. I tore apart my storage facility. I could not find any of the tapes. I was very, very upset. But Bonnie here got to talk to our old friend, director Brad Bird. Bonnie,
Yeah.
How was that?
It was amazing. I just love talking to Brad Bird. He's such a talent. He's such a great guy. Of course, he's given us the Iron Giant, and he did, of course, the first Incredibles. And then he took a little time off and he did some live action stuff. He did Tomorrowland and then Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. So now he's back 14 years later with The Incredibles 2, and he's really, really excited about it, and as he should be.
So, Bonnie, you sat down with him face to face. Did you talk to anything about him specifically?
I did. We talked about quite a number of things, but one thing I had to ask him was if he had to twist any arms to get any of the voice talent back.
Did you have to twist any arms to get the voice talent back?
No, in fact, Sam just went out and started telling people that we were doing it before I knew that we were. What? Sam said what? Well, I better get to work on it. No, everyone really enjoyed doing the first film. When they did the first film, they didn't really know what it was, so they were a little guarded because they didn't read the whole script. They only read their parts. I don't really let out the whole script. I kind of just give you your part. And I would explain things as best I could, but they were a little unsure how it was all going to fit together, and then they were all very happy with how it fit together. So this time they knew what they were, they knew the tone of the film, they knew their characters well, so it was just like slipping on a favorite sweater.
Now, you can see all of that interview at Bonnie's website. It's smartentertainmentgroup.com. Great job there, Bonnie.
Thank you.
Now, Jeff Howard, it's time to actually start talking about this movie. Why don't you sum up the plot of Incredibles 2, and please, as always, No spoilers.
Well, it's tragic that the Incredible family all die, and no, I'm kidding. No spoilers. I was out for a spoiler. I don't want to get hate mail. Well, 14 years, you think, we'd have something more interesting in terms of the plot, but, superheroes are still illegal. And so they're still secretly going out fighting crime together, mostly Frozone and Mr. Incredible. And there's the Screen Slayer, this new villain that's like hypnotizing the population, which for reasons I'm not sure why he's doing it. So it's very simple like that. Not only so they have them wanting to go back into fighting crime, then you'll have Bob Odenkirk, from Better Call Saul. He's a PR man and he's a businessman and he wants to get the Incredibles and superheroes back legal again. So he goes up on this major PR campaign. What's that? I'm going blank. The Will Smith movie where he was a superhero and he was drunk all the time.
Oh, Hancock.
Yeah,
Hancock.
yeah.
So essentially, this is an Incredibles version of Hancock. They're trying to get good PR for all of the superheroes to become legal again, so they can do all these amazing things. But of course, I think Screen Slayer has other ideas that he doesn't want that to happen. So it's kind of it's basically you have all the superheroes trying to become legal again, and then also you have a family dynamic going on. This time, Mr. Incredible is at home taking care of the kids, so it's kind of like a Mr. Mom meets Superman.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Jeff. Now, Greg Russell, Detroit. When this movie came out 14 years ago, there was like 2 superhero movies. Now, at last count, there was something like 4 million. Are we superheroed out, even if this is animated?
I think, in some cases, live action stuff, we are a little superheroed out. But I think for this, by 14 years, always having a favorite, people seen it, I think, this will probably do good. I know that there were adults buying this when I went by.
Greg, we had a little bit of audio problem on there, but you were cutting in and out. But that's okay. I think we got the gist of it. Now, Bonnie, my theater had crying babies. The volume was 4 times the required volume. In fact, it was actually painful to listen to it. It's getting a little bit annoying going to the theater when I can just watch it at home with no interruptions, with my own private sound system and screen. Sorry, I was venting. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Well, who is this movie aimed at? I mean, any kid that's loved this movie 14 years ago is now an adult.
That's true. They've all graduated from university by now. For me, this is not for little kids. And there's a reason why. We're going to talk about that next. But I really think that this is more, I don't know, maybe 8 and up. There's so much going on. I found it a little bit complicated, and there's stuff with the family, and then there's stuff with the bad guys, and then there's all this action. And I think Brad Bird just stole a lot from his Tomorrowland days, when he went live action. So I don't really feel it's for really little kids, but maybe, 7 and up it would be fine.
Hey, Jeff, Greg, what do you guys think about this?
More isn't better. And I think that's what Brad Bird did. He had 14 years to make a sequel to one of the most beloved Disney animated films. Everyone you talk to loves The Incredibles. And with him kind of rehashing the same thing he did 14 years ago, it needed to be streamlined. We needed a simple, The Incredibles family fighting crime, make it fun, make it simple. He did a lot of complicated family drama that was going on. He did a lot of, he mixed a lot of mature things in there that I was sitting back going, I'm not having fun at all. The action's incredible, never going to question that. And I don't know about you guys, but I think some of the adult characters, the humans, they kind of freaked me out. They didn't look right.
Yeah, I mean, the animation was definitely different. And like you said, they could have made it a little bit more different of a story.
Yeah. Hey, Bonnie.
It was a rehash of the first movie. It was the same kind of villain all over again.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
And it just didn't seem like, it just didn't seem like he was having any fun with the movie. And all the new superhero characters also that came along, I couldn't keep track of all of them or what they did. And also, I didn't understand the plot for it. It reminded me like him rehashing like what Superman had, the original from Richard Donner. Then they did Superman Returns with Kevin Spacey. It was the same plot, meaning, land grab thing. It was the same movie theme. So watching this 14 years later, I thought to myself, Brad Bird really could have done something more original and go in a different direction, except he had maybe 7 or 8 subplots going on to the point where I don't want to say bored, but I was exhausted with it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bonnie, this movie clocks in at 1 hour and 58 minutes. Is this too long for a Pixar movie?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going
Mhm.
to say. I felt it was way too long, and I have to agree with Jeff and Greg. I mean, there was just so much going on that yes, they could have gotten rid of a bunch of plots or just,
Right.
streamlined it down. And not, when I walked in, they always expect, oh, good, I'm going to be out of here in 90 minutes. You know how we gauge our films now by how long they are. And then I sat down, and someone said, this is 2 hours, and I'm like, what? And so I felt like it just went on and on and on.
We don't want to see Mr. Incredible being Mr. Mom. I mean, that's one thing that I just got. We saw that in the last movie where, she had to stay home and watch the kids while he went out and fought crime. Now we're
Yeah.
watching him help the kids with dating problems, with math problems, and it just seemed every time we went back to the home
Right.
life, while Mrs. Incredible was out stopping trains that were going out of control and she was out there getting all the publicity, it just kind of seemed we didn't need to see what the family was doing. Just enough of that. We saw that in the first film. Make the Incredibles like the Thundermans on Nickelodeon. Get them all together and just start going on. And I wanted to spring what Greg was saying. Of course, we have, 14 years later, we have so many ripoffs of the Incredibles like the Thundermans. So it's not unique anymore. So give us a streamlined, fun, exciting Disney adventure, and instead we got a lot of kind of social commentary mixed in with some action that was far few in between, especially the ending, the third act with a speedboat going out of control heading towards the dock. That's
Right.
too, for God's sake,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm starting to get a feeling that maybe Jeff didn't like this movie too well. Hey, Greg, this
Yeah.
credits here were also extremely long, and I mean, there were 3 very cool audio themes in there. Mr. Incredible. Hey, look, Stevie Wonder swaying back and forth. I can do all that stuff. So, and look at my surprised face. Jeff Howard not seeming to like this movie. Ready? Just put my mouth open there. So, Greg,
Yeah.
are we expected to? Are we just spoiled with these end credit scenes? We're all sitting around being wait, and sometimes we're just tricked into staying and reading a bunch of text. What do you think about this?
Yeah, I think Marvel has gotten to us because now we're also used to watching their movies, knowing that they're going to get at least 2 special things going on. That people are now sitting through all the credits. I wish I could remember. Oh, it was Ocean's 8 last week.
Yeah.
For people who just sat in because they kept thinking, oh, something's going to pop up here. Who knows? It might be George Clooney. And no, it was the closing credits, and that was it. But yeah, people are now up the theater thinking, I don't want to miss anything.
Yeah, Jeff, are you an end credit watcher?
I am, but only if, because most of the time we see press screenings. So if they say stay for the credits, I will. But I think that's a Marvel thing and now a DC thing. I don't think many other films do that. And I just thought that after 2 hours of this movie, I'm ready to leave. Now, I didn't say I didn't hate the movie. I just said it wasn't incredible. It wasn't as fun.
We're getting to that. All
Yeah.
right, let's go around the room.
Instead of the Incredibles.
Yeah. Let's go around the room. Yes or no answers only. Bonnie, were you a fan of the first one?
Yes, absolutely.
Jeff?
Oh, tremendous. I was jealous I couldn't do the junket. I waited 14 years to do the next one.
Let it go, Jeff. How about you, Greg?
Yes, I will.
Okay. All right. So now we're moving on. Okay. Now, what about you guys? Yes or no questions. Bonnie, were you excited when you heard they were making a sequel?
Yes, very.
Jeff?
Absolutely. It's about time.
Greg?
Yes.
All right.
Good answer, Greg.
Now it's
Right, you said yes or
Greg,
no,
you're
so-
taking too long to answer. All right.
Okay.
Now the moment of truth, fellow BFCA critics. Bonnie, what did you think of the movie?
I liked it, but I really did think it was too long, and I have to really agree with Jeff on this. It's just too many plots going on. It was just a mess in terms of that. The only thing I have to say is I love that Edna Mode was back. I love Edna. She's one of my favorite characters in all of Pixar history, and that's of course also voiced by Brad Bird, by the way, in case people don't know that. But yeah, it was long. I'm just really glad though that now I do have a solution for my raccoon problem. I just have to get me a Jack and I'm all set.
How about you, Jeff?
They are selling that toy at the Disney store. I was there earlier. They have these little hand puppets of Jack and him and the raccoon fighting. So that
I'll have
was
to
the
get
most-
that.
Yeah. Well,
Most bizarre-
we know that you sort of sounded like you're a little bit angry, but what did you think?
I'm not angry. I'm mixed as a critic. That means I didn't hate it and I didn't like it. I'm just disappointed that it couldn't have been more streamlined, more fun, and more. And just I think Brad Bird just put everything in the kitchen sink because I don't know, maybe he just had all these ideas. He couldn't choose what he wanted to put in the movie, so he put everything in the movie. So I think you're going to come out exhausted, and people came out of my screening positive, but it just wasn't. I kept saying, "Where's the fun? Where's the fun?"
All right, Jeff. Or I'm sorry, I just did Jeff. Greg, what did you think? My head is animated.
I know. I like your animated body there, Chuck. That looks great. I'm kind of the same way. I mean, I enjoyed the movie. But like you said, it was too long because I went in already thinking, okay, kids movie, going to be 90 minutes, but mine's getting closer to 2 hours. And like you said, they definitely could have streamlined on the plot because especially if kids are going to see it, they don't want to try and figure out 6 or 7 things, going on.
Right.
They just want to see the Incredibles go out and be incredible and beat up crime.
And the weakest but the most coolest villain to come along in a long time, and they didn't utilize it enough. And that really drove me crazy.
Yeah.
He should have been in a lot more scenes and hypnotizing people because that was actually frightening, which I think is important. But if you look at the overall 2-hour movie, I mean, Screen Slayer was in it for maybe 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought it was just okay. I liked seeing everybody back, but for the most part, I agree with just about everything you said. But now it's time for the report card. Bonnie, give me a letter grade.
I'm giving it a B.
A B, huh?
Yeah.
All right, Jeff.
Got to go lower. I'm giving it a C. I'm sorry.
A C?
Yeah, plus there was no Screen Slayers merchandise, which is a big mistake. We need shirts, we need action figures. The villain is always the most popular. Nothing.
Okay. And Greg.
I'll go in the middle right there, a B minus.
B
And
minus?
also, I do have military ships they did send me from the movie, and this thing is huge.
All right. Well, I got to
Chuck,
tell you,
Chuck.
I'm just going to give it a C. I'm just going to have to give it a C myself. I wanted to like it more. I wanted, I just wanted to have more fun because the first one was so magical.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what? We've had 15 years almost of everyone copying it, so it's not that original anymore. So they needed to come out swinging and just give us something simple and fun. And Brad Bird decided to just do this almost like a thesis statement, Gone with the Wind kind of thing. And it just didn't work for me.
Now, unfortunately, that's it for our review. I feel I shouldn't even bring this up because it just came out today and I forgot to download the trailer. But did you guys see the teaser trailer for Tim Burton's live action movie on Dumbo?
Dumbo.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Jeff, I think your head was about ready to fall off there.
It looks phenomenal. I mean, it
Can't
just
wait.
looks not only like an amazing fantasy it's something that only Tim Burton could probably bring to the screen. And I think people are going to be going crazy for it. I watched it 2 or 3 times. I never watched trailers, but I thought, well, okay, Dumbo, let's see how awful this is going to be.
Right.
And I am telling you, it just looked fantastic. It's going to be a big buzz on that come this fall.
Bonnie, you seemed to you really liked it too.
I did really like it, and you know what? It was like a minute 15, very short. And of course, I needed Kleenex already. I was crying. I mean, oh my God, I can't even imagine what I'm going to be like during the film.
Yeah, and the cast that was all crammed into that little teaser trailer. Greg, did you see it?
No, that I didn't. I was out all day, but I'm going to check it out right now.
Greg,
You
man,
got to
why
watch
don't
it.
you
Okay.
Gotta watch it.
So you're not
Great.
prepared. Chuck,
Thanks,
why not?
everybody. Bonnie, where can we see your stuff?
Everything is at smartentertainmentgroup.com, and of course my YouTube channel /Moviegals. You can see everything, all my interviews. You can find everything.
Jeff, time to plug yourself.
VegasFilmCritic.com, portal to all my websites, my social media. You can find my movie reviews and interviews, and especially my video against Greg Russell, who's not a great critic.
Oh, that wasn't very nice at all.
Ooh.
Mr. Movie Show Plus, tell us about yourself.
Well, I'm actually going out to Vegas right now to put a pillow over Jeff's face. No, you can catch my stuff at movieshowplus.com. Also, click on Detroit.com, and also hear some of our broadcasts as well on Radio Media. All you have to do is download the app, look at Greg Russell Movie Show.
I hope to see you guys all next week, or at least some of you, for our
Yep.
review of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
Can't
Had a
wait.
great time today. I'm actually putting up a place for you, for everybody to watch these videos and stream. But please, if you made it this far in the interview, take a moment, subscribe. It is so important. And thanks everybody, and we'll see you all next week.
Okay.
Bye, John.
All right,
Bye,
thanks, guys.
friends. Bye.